Hey there, folks. Welcome to the Roundup. We are a Cowboy State Daily podcast, and we focus on interesting people in the Cowboy State. And oh my gosh, interesting people that are making a name for themselves outside of the Cowboy State is this guy right here. We've got Chancey Williams in the house.
Yeah, thanks for having me in.
Yes,
in person. Yeah, I like it.
We have never done a podcast from the barn, which is what we call our office here in Cheyenne on Randall Avenue at Cowboy State Daily. We've never done a podcast here, so this is new for us. It's a lot of fun, and it's so great to have Chancey be our very first guest.
Well, I appreciate it. I always like these in person better.
You know what?
They come off better.
Well, and then it really gives us a chance to get that feel of who you are, not just looking at a television screen in that way.
That's right.
Chancey, we've just got so many things to talk about today, and so I just want to get started here, but you are here. We're actually filming this during Frontier Days, and this is the night you're playing at the Outlaw tonight.
Yep, Cheyenne Frontier is the best 10 days of the summer,
okay,
in my opinion. But yeah, we're playing tonight at the Outlaw. Should be fun.
You have so much history here,
yeah.
Chancey. You've got so much history. And tell us a little bit about your love of rodeo, because you grew up in Moorcroft.
Yep, born and raised in, well, I was born in Newcastle, Wyoming, but born and raised in Wyoming. Grew up in Moorcroft, folks ranch up there, and just north of Moorcroft, 5 miles. But yeah, grew up rodeoing and kind of around the whole rodeo scene of Wyoming all growing up, and then, got into music.
Well, I tell you, this has been a blessing for everybody then, because you've been on the ground in rodeo, probably literally on the ground in rodeo.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
Sadly.
Yeah.
But you know what you're singing about. When you're singing about the cowboy way of life, you've lived it in all of the aspects of it.
Yeah, for sure.
When did you first get the idea that you wanted to be a musician and sing about your experiences?
Well, we started a band in high school just kind of for fun, but rodeo was always my main thing. Went to college, went to Casper College, ride saddle broncs and the University of Wyoming. So rodeo was always my main thing. We just kind of had the band for fun. And so, went through college rodeo, made the college national finals twice. And
hey, congratulations.
Yeah, it was fun. So loved it. And then stayed in Laramie and got my master's degree and still had the band. It was kind of our college job, it was a great job to have. And then after, I finished my master's, I had to do an internship, so I moved to Nashville and thought, I'd take a swing at music. But I was still rodeoing too, so I didn't really know what to do. And I was rodeoing and playing music and figured I better pick one, and it was kind of hard to juggle both. So ended up getting into music. But yeah, it was the rodeo was a lot of fun, but music's as fun. So I'm glad I can still kind of entertain.
I want to just back up because you said you went to Casper College, you got 2 associate's degrees at Casper College.
Yeah.
But then you decided, I like school. I'm just going to go get a master's in public administration.
Yeah, it's fun to talk about. I've never used my degree, obviously, but when I finished my undergrad of political science, I didn't even really know I was graduating. My advisor said, you got to get your cap and gown. And I'm like, for what? She said, well, you graduate in May. And I was like, kind of panicked. She said, well, you can go to grad school. And some of the band at the time, some of my old band members were still in college. Is like, well, maybe let's go to grad school while they're finishing so we can continue to play and stuff. And it was only 2 more years of school. So decided to do that. And yeah, it's a fun story to talk about just because I have a lot of degrees, but I'm a singer.
But you're a singer. But you're a singer. I mean, you interned with Toby Keith.
Yep.
That's a big deal because he was such. I'm so sorry.
It was a sad deal losing Toby, but he left a great memory on a lot of people, and he was great to me. He treated me like his own son, and so I got to work for him for a year in Nashville and just kind of learn about the business. We'd always just played out here out west and loved playing, but there's a whole other side to it. The music business is crazy, but decided to dive into it. And so, like I said, when I interned down there, I did my first record down there and made my first album of Honky Tonk Road, and decided instead of hacking it out in Nashville like a lot of people do, I'd move back west and play out here and kind of build the foundation that we'd already started. So that's kind of where we started. And then basically that's when we started playing Cheyenne Frontier Days. We started in the beer tent there and just kept building every year.
And you have grown such a wonderful following. You've got dedicated, devoted fans. One of your devoted fans is here in the room with us.
That's right.
Abby Roach is here.
That's right.
She's our Cowboy State Daily advertising and marketing admin, we could not do what we do without her. So we're really
she's had to hear me sing a lot.
Yeah, but Abby's a bartender. She's been a bartender for years, and so that's how you guys met.
Yeah, we met in college, and but met a lot of good friends in college. But like the state has been great for us for building our foundation. That's why I wanted to move back from Nashville. We'd already had a great group of fans and friends that followed us around, and so we thought we'd just build on that. A lot of artists move to Nashville and hack it out there for 10 years or whatever, and that's one way people make it, I guess. But I just, being from Wyoming, it was hard to move out. And I lived down in Nashville for a year, and it was great. It's a great town, but I really love Wyoming. So I can commute to Nashville as much as I need. I'm going there Sunday. So
are you?
Yeah. So it's not hard to go back and forth, but I love Wyoming so much. It's where I'm gonna live forever.
That's as you should. Now you also, when I talked to you last, you were living in Laramie as well. Do you still have a house in Laramie?
I have a house in Laramie, and then I have a house in Moorcroft too on our ranch. So kind of spend time at both places. Then we're on the road a lot too, so spend a lot of time in the buses. So I have 3 homes, I think. Bus and Laramie and Moorcroft.
So tell me about life on the road now for you. How many dates are you guys playing every year?
Well, we try to do around, between 80 and 100. Last year we did about 100. Which is a lot. It ends up being 275 days on the road, which is it's a lot, but we're used to it. I grew up rodeo, and it's kind of the same lifestyle. You ride one place and you're somewhere the next day, and so rodeo and music have a lot of similarities. So I've never really not traveled. So ever since high school, I was rodeoing, kind of lived that traveling lifestyle, and then right from there I got into music and same lifestyle. So, a lot of people ask us, how do you do it? How are you on the road all the time? I've never really not been off the road. Mm-hmm. So I guess if I was ever home for a couple of years without being on the road, maybe that's normal life and you get used to that, but I don't ever want to stop. So we'll just see where it takes us.
Well, you have played some amazing, amazing stages. When I talked to you last year, we did a great interview last year, you were going to debut on the Opry.
Yeah.
And I get chills just thinking about it.
I know, us too. Yeah. It's unbelievable. That's one of those stages that every artist in country music wants to play. And, I dreamed of playing the Opry, but never thought, it would happen. I don't know. But yeah, last year we ended up playing it 3 times last year. And it's unbelievable because they have to invite you to play there. Yeah. So, it solidifies some of the things that we think we're doing. You're always trying to climb the ladder in the music business, and that shows us that people in Nashville are paying attention and stuff. So getting the invite to play the Opry was huge for me and the band, and we got to have the whole band play with me.
Chancey, I want to back up just a little bit. When did you first pick up a guitar? I want to know that origin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess I took some lessons when I was 8 or 9 years old. Mom got me a little guitar, and I was taking lessons. But I was so young, I didn't really take it very serious, and I guess my attention span wasn't there. So I didn't really play much. And then, when I was a freshman in high school, I was playing drums in concert band, and our band teacher wanted me to play bass guitar. So I learned the bass guitar first. And then in high school, I just started playing acoustic too, just kind of taught myself. My granddad had a band for 30 years, so I guess I kind of had it in me a little bit too. So, yeah, but it just kind of taught myself, didn't really know where it would take me. I just kind of liked playing it. Go to rodeos and had a couple buddies I'd play with. But, yeah, so I guess I was fairly young, but I didn't really take it serious when I was that young. Yeah. So it was mostly high school.
I want to talk, I just want to give a shout out to high school and middle school band and choir teachers, because this is where, especially for us here in Wyoming, this is our first exposure to performance.
I know. And, there's not a big music scene in Wyoming, and that's one of the reasons, we've kind of had to learn everything from scratch. A lot of these musicians grow up in Texas where there's a big scene, or Nashville, or Austin and stuff. So we didn't ever have that. So we just grew up having to learn everything the hard way. And I tell that story all the time, like we didn't know what we were doing. I was just a saddle bronc rider and a ranch kid from Moorcroft that, I know more about ranching and rodeo than I do music. But I guess been in music long enough now, but we had to learn everything from scratch. I didn't know where to plug a guitar in, and, so it took us a little longer than most, but, we've always had that slow, steady climb, and I think that leaves us for of more longevity of a career, you know. I mean, the faster something comes in the music business or any business, the faster it can go away too. So, yeah, I guess when you're young, everybody wants a big hit real fast and be famous, but we've liked our path because we have built a career for ourselves that we can play hopefully for the next 20, 30 years, you know, and people will still show up and download the music and whatnot. So it's been fun, but we did have to learn everything the hard way.
Well, you say young. Chancey Williams and the Younger Brothers Band.
Yeah.
I mean, where did that name come from?
Well, that's what we kind of call our band in college. We're the Younger Brothers Band, you know. And so my older brother came up with that because the original 4 members all had older brothers. So we're always the younger brothers of our family. But, you know, as time progressed, I'm the only original member left. So then we just went to Chancey Williams. But yeah, it's been a fun journey, you know. But some of my band members have been with me a long time. You know, Brooke has been with us for 15 years, 16 years, and Wyatt too. And then Dale, our drummer, he lives up in Fargo, and he's been with us 5, I think, now. And then Jay, our bass player, lives in Loveland. He's been with us 6 or 7. So, I mean, had a lot of the band for a long time. So we're a family on the road. Couldn't ask for a better group.
That's wonderful. And so you've had these wonderful experiences together. You've played the Opry, you've played the Ryman,
Yep.
You played Billy Bob's down in Fort Worth.
Yep, we've got to do a lot of things, you know, and I tell the band all the time, like, we've done a lot of really neat things as an independent artist. We've never signed any record deal or nothing. We've kind of just done the independent route just because that's the way we've liked it. Not that we wouldn't, but, you know, we've done a lot of really neat things for an independent artist. You know, we played Calgary this last year. We've played the main stage at Cheyenne 4 times, and the band has worked hard, and we've got there on our own. So it's a cool accomplishment for me and the band, you know, just to say that we've done some of those neat things. Played the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville too. I mean, we're very, very fortunate. But, you know, Toby Keith told me a long time ago, he's like, you know, there might be artists that out-sing me or outright me, but he's like, nobody's going to outwork me. And I've always remembered that. I was like, they're not going to outwork us either. I said, you know, we've played coast to coast, and we've played several different other countries, and we'll play every week if, you know, we always look at it as a job, you know.
Yes.
The music business is a lot of fun, and traveling's fun, but like it is a lot of work too. So we've always looked at it as a business, as our job. So that's got us to where we are.
Speaking from a music business standpoint, is that your primary focus, is those live performances, or are you recording? I'm sure.
Yeah, we're recording, but you know, like the business has changed so much. So, you know, the majority of the money made in the music business now is playing live. You know, back in the 90s, your record companies sold records. You know, nobody buys records anymore. People buy singles, and you get paid from streams, but it's not much, you know. I mean, once you get millions and millions of streams, it starts to pay off. And but, you know, the majority of the money in the business is made from playing live. So we try to work as hard as possible.
And yeah, I'm sure you played some amazing arenas and things like that. But Frontier Days, that holds a special place in your heart.
It does, you know, like all the cool stages, Red Rocks, the Opry, Billy Bob's, they're all great. But my favorite's still Cheyenne Frontier Days, just because of our history here, you know, like. My dad won Cheyenne in 1971 in the rookie bronc ride, and so all growing up, Cheyenne was special to us. And then, you know, we started out when I came back from Nashville, we played downtown in the Plaza first.
Okay.
And then the next year we played the small stage at Cheyenne, and always dreamed of playing the beer tent. And then we played the beer tent the first year, and they said, you know, we only ever have bands 1 year in a row. So we're like, that's great, but we're happy to be here. And we did good. They said, well, we'll have you next year. I said, oh, great, but they're like, probably never 2 in a row, or 3 in a row. Yeah. And then 8 years in a row we played it. and then finally we chose to step away, you know, as a career move. You know, we knew if we ever wanted to be a main stage band, we couldn't be the beer tent band forever. And that was a hard choice because we loved it. That's where we built our foundation, was playing the beer tent, because people from all over the country come to Cheyenne Frontier Days, so they'd see us in the beer tent, and they might go back to Ohio, tell their friends about us, or things like that. So, but while we were playing the beer tent, you know, we seen these opening slots, you know, so we started asking, like, you know, how would we get to open? You know, one year they had like a Wyoming's Got Talent as an opening thing, and I was like, well, they're just basically singing karaoke up there. I was like, we can sell more tickets than that. So they let us open. They called one year and they said, would you like to open for Merle Haggard, which is, you know, for one it's Cheyenne, for two it's Merle Haggard. So our very first playing the main stage was with Merle, and it was unbelievable. You know, we're excited to be there.
Yes.
You know, and because I had rode at Cheyenne, it was super special to me, and never dreamed when I was riding Saddle Broncs there that I'd ever be playing the main stage, and it all came full circle, you know. But yeah, and you know, riding there was fun too. And Dad won the rookie bronc ride, and I wanted to win it bad, and won 2 rounds one year, set the arena record twice that week, but didn't win the average. Ended up 3rd, so I never got that special buckle. But yeah, I mean, Cheyenne Frontier Days has been the foundation of our success, for like one of the main reasons where we're at today, and we love it.
Now, Chancey, I have to say and add something here, because I saw on social media that a couple months ago you were inducted to the Cheyenne Frontier Days Hall of Fame.
I know, it's super.
What is that?
I know.
That's phenomenal.
It's super humbling. Yeah, I felt real humbled. You know, I feel like I'm too young. You know, but
wow.
It's you know, we've spent a lot of days there at the park. You know, we used, like I said, 8 years in a row, 9 days at a time, plus riding there and then playing out there since the beer tent. I mean, it's a huge honor, because the list of entertainers that they have in the Hall of Fame isn't very big. It's Garth Brooks, George Strait, Chris Ledoux, Brooks and Dunn, Charlie Daniels. I mean, to be in that group of entertainers at the Hall of Fame is super humbling, and it feels great to be in that class of people at that Frontier Day. So it's a huge honor.
It's got to make it even more special now every time you're back to Frontier.
Yeah, for sure. And this week we've been doing Hall of Fame stuff, and was in the parade yesterday for it. But the ceremony's in September, so excited for that. Yeah.
That's something we'll all look for and do another Cowboy State Daily story about, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I can't believe it.
So, Chancey, just a couple more questions. Tell me what's next. What's your next big project that you're working on?
We got a bunch of songs that I have recorded. I think I have 9 songs I haven't put out. So we're starting about September 1st, we're going to start rolling songs out every 6 weeks, because that's what they say to do for the algorithm for Spotify and all the stuff. But, you know, that's how you keep growing, is putting new music out all the time. So I'm always going to Nashville, try to be there 1 week a month, writing and recording and just trying to put new stuff out. You never know what's going to catch anymore, you know, like you don't know what the next hit is, and I don't think people in Nashville either. It's just you write as much as possible. If something takes and goes viral, but we have such a great group of fans that no matter what we put out, they support it and they go download it and stream it and learn it. And so we're very fortunate that we've put together this career before. You know, nowadays people are waiting for something to go viral, and like if something does for us, that'd be great. If it doesn't, that's great too. You know, we're still going to go play live. We're still going to book shows coast to coast and tour and give our fans what they want.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite part of this? What lights you up the most when you are talking about your music career? Is it that those one-on-one times when you connect with a fan in the audience? Is it hearing the crowd just cheer?
Yeah, I think playing live for sure. You know, like that's the payoff. Like we would do that part for free.
Okay.
All the other stuff is what you get paid for, the traveling and the work. But playing live is unbelievable. And like the creation of a song, you know, when you write something and then you sing it live and you see people singing it back, you're like, man, I wrote that, and they like it. So like that's super special. And it's just to have that art to give to other people. So, but playing live, I mean, that's the best.
But writing songs, though, too. I mean, you obviously, it's something that you love to do because you put your heart and your experience.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and writing's hard. You know, I mean, I've gotten better as a writer, but there's great writers in Nashville who I surround myself with. So it's fun to write with those guys. But, you know, a lot of people can write a song, and a lot of people write a good song. Is to get to the point where you can write a great song. And so I don't know if I've ever mastered that, but I write with a lot of guys that write great songs. So that's a hard part, but just and like I always stay in my lane writing. Like I don't write about stuff that I don't know about. Like going back to the ranch and stuff and the rodeo stuff, I sing about those things because it's authentic and people can see that in my music, and they know when I'm on stage singing those songs, it's not fake. You know, I think this day and age, the world is looking for authenticity. You know, and so there's nobody more authentic than we are. I mean, we're just Wyoming ranch kids that are what we are. And if people like that type of music, they like us. If they don't, they might not like us, and that's okay too.
But obviously you have a lot more fan base than just what's here in Wyoming. So you're taking Wyoming to the rest of the world.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People on the east and west coast, the cowboy thing's big right now, because of, Yellowstone and certain things. So they can live our life vicariously through our music. So the timing's been great these last few years for being a cowboy. Like, we're hearing everybody in Nashville, the new saying is like, cowboys are cool again. I'm always like, time out, we've been here the whole time. You guys just finally caught up to us. It's like, I was like, when I started going to Nashville, I was like the only guy in town that was wearing a cowboy hat. Now I go down there, everybody in town's got a hat on, and half of them are on backwards.
Well, there's that.
But
yeah.
I think it's good for the Western way of life. It brings light on Wyoming and Western culture. So I think it's great, and it's good for our music right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Chancey, this has been so fun. I'm so glad we got to do this in person.
Yeah, thanks for having me in.
Yes, and thank you for being our inaugural Cowboy State Daily, The Barn interview.
The first, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. And folks, thank you so much for tuning into the Roundup today. We have so many wonderful guests. It's just that Wyoming is full of interesting people, but this has been a very, very special interview, and we're really glad that you joined us for it. Folks, thank you for tuning in. Chancey, thanks for being here. Congratulations on the Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Stay tuned. Next, if you had missed some of these conversations that we've had, please go to our newsletter, go to our YouTube channel, go to our website, and discover these really amazing people, because Wyoming is a special place filled with really unique and wonderful people. So we don't want you to miss out on any of those. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Have a wonderful week.